There are parents that tell me so many times that this has just been transformational to their kids.
I mean, what we do is incredibly important because I do believe that we save some kids' lives.
The work that we do transforms how people see the world that they live in.
This is not just a small town Iowa thing, or this is not just a city thing, or this is not just an American thing. I mean, this is spanning all cultures and all geographic boundaries.
You can go anywhere in the world, and this name, just carries respect, it carries a sense of importance to the field.
The Belin-Blank Center, currently a guiding light in gifted education, all started with a phone call. Two philanthropic couples active in the Des Moines area had decided to combine their efforts for the advancement of gifted education, a largely neglected field. The Belins and Blanks had the will, but were seeking an education partner to lead the way.
Connie had called me to set up a meeting with Mike and Jackie and her husband David. And then she said, I need to tell you that Mike and Jackie really do not like educators very much because they've had some really bad experiences. She said, the other thing I need to tell you is my husband's a lawyer and he's going to ask you a lot of questions. Now, in the write-up, I was pretty calm. Suddenly, everything kind of changed. Went into the meeting and it was one of those just magical times. We got along, we loved what we were talking about. But boy, that walk from the parking lot to Mike's office, it felt like 5 miles.
The early relationships were really important because it's how we got to know each other. We had a luncheon. I got to sit next to Jackie. She was so friendly. I just finished my postdoc and she was asking me about some of the work that I did. We became friends quickly. She's so interested in everything that I did or that Nick was doing. Whatever we were doing, she wanted to know more about that.
With the founder's vision, the mission was established early on. If the center could reach teachers, then those teachers could impact countless students.
The programming for teachers predated the establishment of the center.
Initially they had sort of a smallish amount of money. They were sort of brainstorming ways that they could make the most impact, and I think they decided that if they could really get to the teachers, they could affect a lot of students.
So that's why Nick Colangelo told the Belins and the Blanks that probably the best thing that he could do would be to begin with teachers, so the ripple effect of that impact going out.
By 1988, we had already had 7 years of teachers who had come through for training.
From the original focus on teachers, the Belin-Blank Center has evolved into a comprehensive organization that includes teacher and student programs, as well as an assessment and counseling clinic and a broad research agenda. The center's research symposia are world-renowned, and the clinic hosts the only twice exceptional program in the state.
I think it makes sense that we're part of this triad of services that are provided by the center. There's the student programs, professional development, and clinic.
Well, the work is just different in a lot of ways, right? It's more sensitive. The clinic never stops. Their cycle is constant, so the clinic is steady busy all the time.
Being able to reconcile that complexity of bright kids with challenges is, I think, something that's a strength here across the center, but especially in the clinic. They really specialize in that, and I think that's why there is such a waiting list.
My hope for the clients that we work with is that through the services we provide, they're able to develop a better understanding of themselves, to be in a place where they truly feel heard and understood.
In addition to just getting the diagnoses, the Belin-Blank Center was able to offer really concrete resources as well as accommodations, and that was really kind of the game changer for us.
It's really a joy to see families better understand their children and to help them see the kids' strengths.
Anytime an individual does not have the opportunity to fully develop their talents, it's a loss for that individual, but it's also a loss for society.
When we change how teachers are interacting with students and how they're understanding gifted students, they look out at their classroom and they see their students differently. And that's powerful for those teachers.
We talk about the students having peers and meeting each other and feeling like, oh, I found my people. And the teachers have that feeling too, I think, when they participate in the professional development here. And it's really exciting because sometimes they're the only person in their district or in their building that's focused on working with gifted students.
From the early focus on teachers, the Belin-Blank Center's reach has expanded to K-12 and beyond. in a wide variety of options. The center features 7 distinct summer programs for students, ranging from 1st grade to 12th grade. An inventiveness competition, the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards program, the Iowa Online Advanced Placement Academy, and the Bucksbaum Early Entrance Academy, which expedites the advancement of talented students, culminating with the enrollment into the University of Iowa.
Sometimes they come to us when they're in elementary school and they keep coming back, and they come back when they're in middle school, and then you see them again in high school. Some of them come here as college students, and then eventually they end up getting jobs and they keep in touch with us, and it's just rewarding to be a part of that story.
Our goal is to offer programming for students who are passionate about a particular content area and to give them that opportunity, hopefully a pivotal experience for them.
I think one of the keys for this center is providing opportunity and providing those experiences that may become a crystallizing experience for a student and an aha moment for them, which is really what innovation's all about. They invent themselves when they come here, or even reinvent themselves.
I think a really valuable part of the experience here in the summer for the students is being with other people who are unabashedly interested in whatever their subject is.
At the beginning, they all come and they're very nervous and they're not sure what to expect. And then by the 2nd or 3rd day, they've made this group of friends. This is an opportunity for students that they might not otherwise have.
Students that I had 20-some years ago are still in touch with each other, still remember this as a very important time in their lives, when they met other people who felt the same way they did, enjoyed the same things they did.
The Belin-Blank Center has impacted my academic life significantly by helping me accelerate and pursue my passions. But I also think that it's impacted my social life quite a bit too.
I love hearing from those students that years and years later, this has still been such a vital part of their lives.
They combine that social need for a true friend, and true friends can be hard to find.
Today we celebrate the anniversary of the founding of a comprehensive center. The simple beginning started with one box that symbolized vision, inspiration, and philanthropy. Through the decades, the box became a building that houses a creative and dedicated group of professionals committed to gifted and talented students, educators, and families.
We're small enough that everybody makes a difference, but we're big enough that we also have to be a team.
My main goal has always been to make the families feel welcome and comfortable.
As families call in, they recognize my voice, or I've assisted them at an event.
There's a genuineness to the quality of the relationships.
People are really open to helping you out or supporting you. That was something that was just really clear from the beginning that really has persisted.
In my interview, I think it was, Susan told me we're like a big family, and I think the longevity of some of the staff speaks to that.
That longevity extends to the advisory board. Some board members have served since its inception in 1999. Others have seen multiple generations from the same family fill their seat. The center would not operate without the peripheral support provided by these dedicated advocates and friends.
So Nick and I went to Des Moines and we met with Mike and Jackie, and we talked about who we would like to invite to be on the advisory board. And we met with Mark McCormick as well, David's partner, and he was our first chair of the advisory board. And we generated the list of names, and Nick and I got back into Iowa City that evening, and Jackie called us and told us that she'd already contacted everybody, and they said yes. And that was Jackie, she wasn't going to wait for something to happen. So that's how the first board got started.
I think striving to recognize that we have some of the answers, not all of them, and that if we continue to work, we'll come up with more and better solutions. And whether we ever arrive at best is a question mark, but the striving and the effort to get to that, I think, can produce really wonderful results.
One of the things we've had at the Belin-Blank Center is attracting people who really care about kids, about teachers, and really want to do the best job that they can. And I think this has been one of the trademarks of the Belin-Blank Center from director on. And as long as we can keep attracting people who want to work with their heart as well as their minds, we're going to be in really good shape in the future.
One of my favorite sayings is that knowledge is important because it leads to wisdom, and wisdom is important because it leads to deed.
If I was thinking of what I would like the center to be like in 5 to 10 years, I would like every kid and every parent in the state of Iowa in the K-12 system to feel like they know about us, they know about possibilities, and feel like this is a place for them.
This type of teaching, this type of learning without grades and without boundaries and really immersing yourself in one subject, it's wonderful. It's what I hope for my children to have as an experience. Why can't this be normal? This should be something that we can expand upon.
As the center moves forward, my wish and my hope and all signs are that we are going to be creating the next generation of problem solvers.
We start with that assumption that with no ceilings, you take kids and, whether they're the next great artist or Einstein, almost that's not the point. The point is that if you start off with no ceilings, you don't hold back on what's possible. And I think the kids sense that. They may not articulate it the way I just did, but I think they sense that here we're treated like they don't know what my ceiling is. And now I don't either.
People who are part of the center, whether they're members of the staff, members of the faculty, whether they're participants as teachers, as educators, psychologists, students, we want them to feel empowered each and every day that they're here. And I think that's the most important message that I'd like to get across.
From the singular vision of 2 dedicated families to a teacher's program intended to advance gifted education, that humble vision has grown into the Belin-Blank Center. And 3 decades later, after impacting the lives of thousands of educators and tens of thousands of students, we look to continue nurturing potential and inspiring excellence.